So in today's tutorial, we'll be going over the invoices module. So let's head over to the invoices module and get started. So all we'll do is we'll head to the sidebar, click on the invoices option on the sidebar, and then here we are at the invoices section. So as you can see over here is just a brief analytics or statistics of the invoices that you have. So right now we have 7 total invoices. 57% are paid, 0% unpaid, and 14% are overdue. Over here are the invoices, who created them, when they were billed, or when they were sent, when they're due to be collected, and their status. So status that we have, status can be either a draft, unpaid, partially, where partially is it has been partially paid, and then there's paid, where it's been completely paid, and then cancelled, where the transaction has been cancelled, and then here's the amount. Okay, so one thing that you can do is that you can search invoices for a particular client. You just come over here and then search by the name of that client. Maybe let's take whether it's Peter. So you'll see the invoices of Peter over here. Or let's say you have somebody called Eustace, you'll see them. Or if you have maybe a company called, those are the two uses that we currently have. Yeah, and then so let's go straight to creating an invoice. So all you have to do is click on the create button to create an invoice. And once you've created an invoice, you can search the client. So all you have to do here is click and then search. Let's create one for Peter. So whether it's Peter, whether it's KPLC, whether it's it. So you just search for let's say maybe Korea. Let's get for these investments limited. This one will be filled. These two will be filled automatically by the system, and then you choose the date of issue. So it will be issued on 21st. The due note maybe, let's say it is payment is up, and then the default payment is the bank, and then when is it due? The due date is 29th. The due notice payment is up. Then the product service, let's say it is legal services, where you can describe it further. You can describe the services offered. Let's say representation in court. So let's say maybe you charge them this amount for that. And maybe if there's a tax, if there's no tax, you just add a 0. If there is, let's say it's a 10% tax. So over here you can see the calculation is done automatically by the system. So all you have to do is click on save. Now if you have more than one service that you want to bill, you can add. Maybe let's say it is maybe legal services as the product. Maybe let's say you are charging them for creating, for maybe let's say drafting contracts, and then you want to charge them maybe this amount for that, with a tax of maybe let's say 5%. And as you see, it will be calculated automatically, and it will be billed automatically. All this is done automatically by the system, where the total amount, then the total tax of both services, and then the grand total. After that, you can hit on save. So once you've hit on save, you can see over here, this is the tab. It is showing us all that has been billed. So there are 2 services that have been billed, the subtotal, the tax total, and if there's a discount offered, it will be over here. And then so this is where the invoice is. First of all, I want us to come back to the invoices section so that we can have a look at it. As you can see, it is partially paid, meaning that there's a payment that that has been made already. So a cash of 1,000 was added. So to make a payment, all you have to do is to click on this payment tab, and then you can record the amount that is paid. So the system automatically records the entire payment, the entire balance that is left out. It is automatically filled for you. But if that's not the payment, let's say maybe they started with the down payment of that amount. Maybe let's say that was the initial deposit, and then it was billed to the Panama bank. It was sent to the Panama bank account. So you save. So as you can see, this transaction has been added here, and then over here you can add any files. Maybe if there's a receipt or a bank slip or something like that, you can just upload it. And if you come to the invoices section, you'll see it is partially paid. So over here we have the discussion section, where you can add one or two notes or comment on this particular invoice. So these notes you can add them over here, and then you can be able to show them to the client if you want to, so that when they are viewing this invoice from the end of the system, they can be able to see these notes. But if you don't want to, you can toggle this and you can discuss internally about this particular invoice. This one is to send if you want to send it to the email of the client. This one is to generate a PDF of this, and this one is to print. So from this part, there's this option for marking as draft. So when you click this, it is marked as draft, and you can see over here, if you come, this invoice is marked as draft. So draft invoice basically means that you're still working on it, you're still creating that invoice, and you still haven't sent that particular invoice. And you can just update that. And then there's this option for recurring. Now, recurring means that the invoice will be, if you toggle this one on, it means that it will be sent after a particular period of time. Maybe you want this, you're billing this client this amount every month. So you can set it to be recurring after every 1 month. The recurring can be set to 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, 1 year. So let's set it to 1 month. And it doesn't have to be 1, it can be 1, it can be 10, it can be 90, it can be 90 days. Let's say it's 90 days. It can be 90 years. So it all depends with the preference. So if you set it like this, it will be recurring after, and then if you leave it blank like this, you'll see it enter this particular address. This means that it will be occurring for a lifetime. So every month, after every 90 days, it will be occurring. It will be recurring every time. If to set an end date, maybe you want it to go on for the next, maybe till next year. Let's say till March of 3rd, 2021. So all you do is to select that and then hit on save. So in the invoices section, something else that we want you to have a look at is this part over here, which is the balance, which is basically the balance left to be paid up before the invoice is completely paid in full. So let's make this payment so that we can pay this invoice in full. So as you can see, it will automatically fill the balance at all times. You can edit it with the amount paid, and then let's say that is the final payment, and it was paid to the Panama bank. Yeah, you can add a file, maybe a bank check that was given to you. You can scan it, and a bank check, anything, any documents. And then as you see, once the payment is made, you'll see now the status changes over here to paid, meaning that there's no balance and it is completely paid. Now, if we head over to the invoices section, you'll see that the invoice is completely paid over here. And once an invoice is completely paid, please note that you can't do any editing on it. You can't do any editing because it is a paid invoice. So you cannot update a paid invoice because the assumption is that there's no need to update anything on it because it's already paid. So that is all to do with invoices. If you want to learn more about this and about our other modules in the Sheria Space platform, you can contact us and we will get back to you with the demo, with a comprehensive demo of the whole system.